Hello, and welcome to I'm Too Busy. I'm Christina Flach, your host. I'm a celebrity makeup artist and CEO with a passion for all things beauty, wellness, and success. On this show, I'll take you on exciting journeys, sharing personal stories and insights from inspiring entrepreneurs. Together, we will explore manifestation, health, wellness, and the secrets to thriving in life and business. Let's jump in and get inspired. Hello, and welcome to I'm Too Busy. I am Christina Flach, and today I have the absolute pleasure of sitting down with the lovely Lorrie King. She is the co-founder of Caire Beauty. I am so excited because she's got this amazing product, and it's all about celebrating women, thriving through hormonal transitions, and embracing the best years of their lives with beauty, brains, and confidence. Today, we are going to chat about her journey, she and her partner Celeste groundbreaking Formulations, their upcoming book. They're going to be on QVC. They have so much going on. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, I'm really amazing because this is the time of year where menopause is actually celebrated, right? So women over 50 get to celebrate this period instead of it being something that's so down in their lives. And I think that's really important. The whole month is that celebration, and World Menopause Day is on October 18th. So
Interesting.
Exactly. So anyone who is beginning to feel the effects of this in their 40s, all the way into your 90s, because hot flashes don't go away, this is the time where people are looking not just for the celebration of this stage, but also how do we find results that are good for them? How do we get information that's good for them? And then how do we find doctors that actually know what the F they're doing?
Exactly. How the actual F what they're doing. Why don't we start with, how did you and your partner meet, and when did you guys realize you had to create something together?
So Celeste and I met many years ago, and we've been dear friends ever since. We met through a mutual friend who happened to go to undergraduate with her at the University of Pennsylvania, so that we both went to the Wharton School, and he went to get his MBA with me years later.
Oh, wow.
He then said, the two of you must meet. You're both in New York. Beauty seems to be around both of you in terms of the brands and things that we were building. And that's how we met. And then what happened is one morning we were at this breakfast, this cosmetic executive women, and she walks up to me and says, "Aren't you Ed's friend?" And then from there on, we began working together because we really were aligned in terms of our interests in the industry.
That's amazing. What did your careers at YSL and Sephora teach you that prepared you for entrepreneurship?
So, interestingly enough, I was working part-time while I actually worked at the cosmetics counter at Bloomingdale's for YSL. I did pay off those loans that I just talked about. And back then, the loans were an interest rate of 14.7%, which was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
So everybody's complaining today. I'm like, what are you talking about? People are complaining about where we are, 6%. I'm like, that's nothing.
That was a bargain.
That was a bargain, but the prices were lower, right? So in terms of tuition, so it was easier to pay off. So what I did is I started working at Bloomingdale's part-time, and that's when I really got exposed to the entire industry. And I was working in finance. So I also, to help pay for my travel, I started a beaded jewelry business called To Bead or Not to Bead. And so that helped me to actually make a way into the beauty industry. And that's when Elizabeth Arden hired me.
Amazing. And how long did you work with her?
I branded a business. I showed them how to make money, right? And I was a makeup artist. So it was like, okay, we'll hire you. And that's how I got started. And I started working with Karl Lagerfeld on Chloe at the time. He was
amazing. Oh my gosh.
And then I worked with Elizabeth Taylor on all of her fragrances. So, I have seen her diamonds up close. I have moved from Tiffany's to the Museum of Natural History. So I really, 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 I have learned from the icons of the industry,
What was that like working with Elizabeth Taylor? I mean,
I
that
have to
is
tell you, so she was such a beautiful person. Actually, I mean, since then I've worked with Halle Berry, Celine Dion, Kamora Lee Simmons, and all these people. What Elizabeth taught me is how to really be humble in who you are, and also to always exhibit kindness. She came across as someone who just was taking care of you when you were in the room with her. So, but she was demanding, don't get me wrong. I mean, back then we had like private jets in for her in the budget, and we had pink diamonds and things like that in the budget, which, of course was like, well, we got the smallest ones available, but, but these are types of things that were happening in the beauty industry to attract this level of a celebrity who was sort of the first breakout Hollywood star, really, Hollywood actress with a fragrance. So this is before you have the Jennifer Lopez's and everybody else that came after that, right? And what she did successfully is created sustainability. It was a really, the creative team there, this woman Paulette, there was this woman Claire, all of these people who really knew how to hone in on the heart of who she was and to bring that out. And one of the things that as women, we can really admire from someone like that is how she commands the room. It's not just about the marriages she got or how she really got people to fall in love with her. It was really about her command and her confidence. And I think we as women, as we step into these different decades, have to learn confidence. It starts as a girl, right? And if we can
it definitely does.
if we can build on that, imagine what we can be, right? Because many of us are bullied like I was. So many of us have gone through situations of jealousy. So building Caire is about building something for women so that they have more confidence in who they are. And that's why Caire has an I in the middle. It's for the individual woman.
Oh, I love that.
She's intriguing, she's insightful, she's innovative, she's interesting. She's all of these sort of eyes. But we forget about that, right? Finding the joy in our hearts for who we want to be. And if you can get that early, you can really take on the world.
I completely agree. Can you share the TV shopping network story and how it lit the fire for Caire Beauty?
So QVC is one of those places that you can really cultivate a brand and an audience because they have an audience of women who are really dedicated to what they bring them. They are the screener. They're the ones that say you can trust this brand, right? Mm-hmm. And what happens is it can take a long time. It's taken us a while to kind of come back onto QVC after selling out the first time. But what this is, it was just persistence. It was about maintaining the relationships in the industry and also the believability. So people see that now we've been around between 4 and 5 years. There are women coming back for our products. There are great reviews about what we're providing. So the home shopping, networks are not for everyone. And I'll tell you why. It's a real margin game. So because Caire owns our formulas, we buy the raw materials ourselves. We manufacture the bulk. We fill the packaging, that you see here. And ultimately, we own that end to end. We're able to afford to be on a TV shopping network versus some others, because these networks actually take quite a bit of margin. In the beauty industry, it's only on consignment. So
right. And then their return policies are crazy too. They totally protect the customer and not the brand at all.
Returns are 10 to 11%. Some of those are the projections. They're the highest in I'd say in any form of retail. We're on Nordstrom.com and people talk about there being a lot of returns there, but it's nothing like QVC.
Wow. That's remarkable.
You know?
Why do you think women over 40 have been underserved for so long by the beauty industry?
So one of the things that I'll flip this on its head because, we have something that we're building, which is called the pro-aging revolution. A lot of people talk about pro-aging. There are few people talking about pro-aging, but instead of always saying anti-aging, anti, we're about embracing who we are and being positive about
I love that.
because if you think about it, if you're, even as a makeup artist, right? You are always covering it all up for many people. But then there are people where you don't have to use as much, where you can enhance their natural beauty, or you can get more hydration or glow in their skin through the right skincare and the right skincare regimen, right?
And nutrition.
And nutrition, correct. So the industry overall, just like when you think about some types of doctors, sometimes they're not always solving for the complete problem, right? They're just a doctor will just give you the pill, right? And then you keep going. And then it's like, but it comes back, right? Well, the same thing's happening in skincare. If you don't fix sort of what's happening in terms of the hormone decline after 40, because it starts at 31, our estrogen loss, and then saying one of the things that's impacted mostly is our skin, then the formulation approach is wrong, right? The delivery systems of how this gets into the skin isn't correct. So we focus on that, and that's what our patent is all about, right? It's about creating pathways for the ingredients so that your skin becomes more hyper absorbable. It can take it in, more bioavailable, similar to the way a plant takes water in on its leaves, right? We never think about it that way, but think of all the products you try and they sit on the skin. They're greasy. And when you go to put a foundation, you're like, what is this? Because it's gumming up. Or what about people who are getting milia or all of these things because they're clogging their pores constantly? And now we wear SPF all the time. So that's even more challenging because we need to cleanse it off well.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about your favorite products in your line.
So we have actually kept the line very streamlined. We will be coming out with a cleanser soon, something that's a cleansing balm, because that's really good for getting makeup off and impurities and for older skin. But we have the Theorem Serum Boost, which is a serum that we call molecular nutrition. It's like feeding the skin. And what happens with this is it has, along with our triple lift molecule mask and our grown-up moisturizer, which has an Oprah Award, the heart of all of these products is sort of the hyaluronic acid that is not just one, not just two, but 3 different molecular weights. So what that means is the big weight, and I'm telling you, you can go to any, store in the world and get a bottle for $6 to $10. Well, it's got mostly the big molecule. It's going to just sit and give you a splash, right? But then the medium-sized one is going to actually start to really give you more glow that you're holding on to. And then that little one is actually going the deepest. So it's kind of like if you take a glass of water, right? You fill it up, and then you go and you drink it, you refill that glass, and then you sip your water throughout the day, right? That's how the hydrative effect occurs with this type of hyaluronic acid build. And then when it comes to the peptide, we actually bioferment it. Now, some of the products on the market that help with significant hydration are traditionally fermented, but we ferment the peptide because the peptides are actually clinically proven to boost collagen and firming. So you really are creating this yumminess in your skin by doing this. So for me, it's like a personal trainer, right? All of a sudden you have this personal trainer and your personal trainer goes on vacation. And then you have more collagen loss, you have loss in firming, but then the GF1 peptide comes back, and that's your coach, right? And the coach is helping you to optimize your skin's own collagen production. And then in the serum, instead of having to buy 2 products, you actually just need to buy this because it works on the eyes.
Amazing.
So it uses these botanicals along with effective, tree hawthorn, jasmine. And what it's helping to do and what it's clinically proven to do is to smooth fine lines and wrinkles, dark circles, eye bags, and droopy eye. Those results take a little bit longer than the overall sort of face, because obviously, as we all know, and maybe we don't, the creasing is caused by loss in collagen and hydration, but it's also caused by repetitive blinking and frowning and things like that. So that's why some people have more brow wrinkles than others, right? Or side sleeper have more
right
in their décolleté, right? It's all because of repetitive motion over and over and over. Sadly, there's nothing we can do about gravity in our sagging necks. But, you know.
Have you seen these gua shas that people are doing on their face?
Yes. What
are your thoughts on that?
We actually
I think it's fascinating.
Yeah. So if you think about it, you have senescent cells. And senescent cells inside are dead skin cells, basically. So it's shedding on the outside. It's also shedding on the inside. Those cells need to flush out of your body. So if you're using a gua sha and using the gua sha ritual, and we show you how to do that on our website, you are doing these different strokes to promote lymphatic drainage. And so it's about taking the gua sha and then ending, like, to make sure you're pushing it out, pulling the gua sha up, then pushing it out. So you can't just sort of just rub it, right? You've got to sort of really do it as a ritual for your skin.
It's a whole art. It's really fascinating. My algorithm right now on Instagram is so much of this because I'm obsessed with it. I think it makes sense. You know, our face has muscles in it, and if they start not used, they sag. I mean, it's not the one thing, it's all the things, your products that are amazing, and the gua sha, I mean, and the hydration. And it's unbelievable to me. You're a makeup artist, you'll totally relate. How many people are dehydrated? It is baffling to me how many people don't drink water.
But think about it. It's not some of that's very true. However, what's happening is some people have a tendency to be dry. Like, I always had dry skin. But what happened is Celeste and I went shopping, and she's like, "You've got to try La Mer." And La Mer actually is fermented, but it's $200 to $300, $400, $500, even $1,000 a jar.
Right.
So I was like getting 1 jar a year, using a little bit at a time, and I was asking for it on my Christmas Secret Santa list. That's how much it worked in my skin. But what it didn't do is it didn't work once I got to 50.
Oh, that's interesting. And why do you think that was?
Because as you're losing hormones, your skin is drying, thinning. It's got menopausal effects, even if you haven't gone through menopause. And you're finding more and more of the products are sitting on top of your skin. You're losing glow. So I was losing glow. And even though I'd work with Halle Berry, and she gave me her top secrets, right, for skincare, which, the weekly facial I still do, because that's like her thing. And it's an exfoliation method that I use that. And then I use my mask, because our mask makes you just pop in terms of glow, and it instantly goes and tightens and all those things. But a good exfoliation is always going to help more, but your products just stop working. And that's why we invented Caire, because that's what we were encountering.
Do you think it helps with those razor things for the face for women with removing the excess hair? Do you find that helps with the penetration of the products? And exfoliating dead skin.
Definitely, definitely exfoliating is going to help, right? It's going to help prep your skin, but also a good toner is going to help. But in terms of the little hair, I mean, if you have a lot of hairs, it's good to clear the skin, right? Some people, like my very good friend, Chef Carla Hall, uses our product, especially our mask, because of her dry skin, her menopause. She got laser hair removal. And
Interesting.
the reason that you want to get laser hair removal versus plucking those hairs that you get is because when you pluck, they come back and they're hard. It's just like when you pluck gray hairs, right? But when you get it laser done, it really kills the follicle, and then the pores are there to accept products, etc.
Oh,
But it doesn't
makes sense.
because I've gotten it done as well. But when you're like her, who's an actress, and you've got to get dressed at 5 a.m, you don't want to have to shave, your underarms, your legs, bikini, whatever it might be. And if you do have a tendency for hair on your face, you want to get rid of that. But that peach fuzz, your skin is going to be able to accept products on the skin, because what ends up happening is, I don't believe that that's really going to detract from the product soaking in, or not, because the hair follicle still has the pores. It's not closed, right?
That's true. Let's shift this a tiny bit. What did focus groups reveal that surprised you most?
Focus groups surprised. What women said. Number one, they're always like, when are you coming out with your neck product? That's like the number one need. But the biggest thing that surprised me was how dedicated these women were. And I'd say that, and what they switched from. So the biggest thing that a few people have told us is that they couldn't find anything that worked on their skin. That anything they used would break out, it wouldn't work, their skin was still dry. And the only thing they've been using for their entire lives is Vaseline.
Really?
Yes. I had a customer call me once. Where are you in New York City? Oh my God, I got my bottle, and we were on Good Morning America, and she happened to drop it. And she's like, it broke. I need another bottle. Literally, I was like, what? And then she told me her story about, I used Vaseline until I started using your serum. It really is the only thing that works. You've got a custom life. So of course we hand delivered that to her.
Oh, yeah. It's so remarkable that we'll get a client or a customer that will call and tell us a story, and that we want to do that for them because,
Correct.
right?
Correct. Yes, exactly. And
I love that.
We really, we have a store in, someone who offers our products in the city now. So that'll help, which is great.
I love that. How did you go about finding a beauty chemist and labs to help realize your vision?
So this is a different story. We actually have science founders. So typically you go to a contract manufacturer and you order it off of Temu or whatever you're doing out there these days, Alibaba, to order your bulk of lipsticks and eyeshadows and things and start selling them, right? You can get it branded, etc. So you go to a contract manufacturer here in the US or wherever it might be. We didn't have to do that because our science founders had a lab. So we created everything with them in partnership in the lab. And then what we've done is taken that formula and we get it made for us at a facility. And then we get it manufactured and filled somewhere else, all in New Jersey.
But they had done skincare before.
Oh, yeah. So our lead scientist, Dr. Joe, had been at Johnson & Johnson, head of advanced technologies for over 20 years. He's the most awarded and patented scientist that they have. He's got almost 40 patents pending and approved. So here is someone with a degree in obviously chemistry at the PhD doctorate level, and also a master's in physiology. So he understood fundamentally the formulation approaches and what wasn't being done at the big.
Exactly.
And that's what the insight is. It's all about molecular size.
Exactly.
All about really getting your skin to be more receptive to the products that are being delivered, but also having the right ingredient combinations.
I think we talked about this before, but I don't know if I'm going to repeat, if I'm repeating myself, just we'll skip to the next question,
Okay.
but walk me through your hero product and what problem did it solve and how is it different? So I think we went over that, or did you want to go into that a little deeper?
We didn't go into what problem it solved as much. So our hero product, or our number one selling product, is our Theorem Serum Boost. The serum itself, I did say earlier, provides nutrition to the skin. What I didn't say is that it's really helping you ultimately hold on your hydration more, create much more collagen in your skin, and helping you to look more youthful. And all of this is said by our clinical research studies. So clinical perception studies with real consumers. So 100% of them said they were more hydrated, they were more nourished, their brow lines were more diminished, their eye wrinkles were more diminished, and ultimately they look more youthful. So, and these results are actually on our website. So this is like real results. It's almost unheard of. We had 197%, and that was it. And Dr. Joe said, wow, I have never seen results like this. So it's a different type of product. So for example, Christina, I don't know if you've ever witnessed this. If someone has too much hyaluronic acid content in their skin, they will start to pill, or their makeup won't apply properly. We have 3 types of hyaluronic acid, and your skin is held together by hyaluronic acid. It's like the mortar to bricks, right? What ends up happening is, I believe that most people are actually overusing their products.
Oh, interesting.
So I now, with my dry skin, I only use our serum twice a day. I'm 61. I use the serum morning and night. I rarely use our moisturizer. It's too rich. It's too indulgent. So there's people who love our moisturizer. They put it on, and then that's too much hyaluronic acid. It'll start to pill, or they're not getting all their sunscreen off. So the result of the serum is that it's truly a bit potent, right? It's performative, and it's good science, but it's also strong science. So this is not for someone who's 20. This is not for the tween. All those, that's how you know the difference, because all of those products that are out there on the shelves at the Sephora's, the Ultas, a lot of them are too potent for all these girls that are picking up these things from TikTok.
This
is for grown-up skin.
This is grown up. This isn't baby skin.
No, this is not. Did I send you any yet? I have to.
No, I'm dying to try it. Oh my gosh, please.
I have to send some. And if
I would love it.
You want to do a giveaway,
I would love to. We're going to definitely do that.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to definitely do that. Why was being clean, biotech-driven, and microplastic-free so important to you?
This world has to definitely reduce its reliance on plastics. Everybody's saying, why are there so many cancers? Well, I believe it's not just all of the hormones that are put into foods and the modified foods and things like that. But I also believe it's the microplastics that are floating around.
I completely agree.
And all the chemicals that are floating around. So there are hidden ingredients like polyvinyl alcohol, and you will find them in a lot of products, not just the parabens and the sulfates and things like that, because I was at Marshall's the other day and I was like, wow, where are the clean products? Because they had a lot of those phthalates, sulfates, all those things, right? And you're like, whoa, what's going on? These still exist? And these are like major big brands that people use every day on their bodies. So imagine,
oh my God,
that is all flushing down our water supply, along with all the microplastics. So what we have done is, some people say, oh, your packaging, it's so heavy, or it looks like it's, the way you fill it. I don't like that, but we have a false bottom, but it's glass. It's not plastic. We use aluminum on the silver. This is not plastic. Everybody else is using plastic. We pay more to have aluminum. This is real.
I love this.
This is not silicone. When we ship this to you from our warehouse, our fulfillment center, we actually use a little cosmetics bag instead of a carton because you're just going to throw away the carton. And we put a little postcard in there for you. And people love it because they can use it for their hair clips, safety pins, whatever they have in their purse. And it's an extra sort of freebie. But
I love that.
It may not be biodegradable, but it's completely usable.
Which is remarkable.
So clean is important to us in terms of the amount of, preservatives that we use, the type of preservatives, all those things are very important. So our product is almost, 98.5%, everything good and clean. And then you have a preservative in there, but it's going to be the cleanest preservative we can find. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. What's the biggest misconception? And I know you don't really care for this word anti-aging, but anti-aging products that you would like to set straight?
I think that, for me, it's really about find products that test products. Cause like we have a money back guarantee, try it for 30 days. And if you write us and you're like, it's still not working, I'm like, try it for another 2 weeks. Try the Serum solo. So I think that it's what's happened is the industry has become reliant on 100 products that you use. So they service all these different needs. But if you really strip it down, our hormone decline is really all the same. Skin is skin, no matter what race you are, no matter where you're from. And if we could just treat skin to make it more healthy, to create more wellness in the skin, there'll be more longevity in your skin, which means you'll look more youthful. So the misconception is all about always covering it all up. It's sort of like you're putting all of these things on, yet you're not enhancing your own beautiful self. I think that's a large part of it. I'm not opposed to foundation or anything like that, but I am opposed to someone that looks like they've got a facial mask of dry foundation that's flaky.
I know. Right. And the wrong color and too thick.
People get the wrong color all the time. There's a lot of bad makeup artists out there.
You know what? That's true. And I always say there are two kinds of makeup artists, amazing and terrible. There is no.
I know. Yeah.
And then
yeah, you're right. When I used to work at YSL and I would be in the mall where we were in New Jersey, people, when I'm shopping, would stop me and say, when are you going to be there? Literally. Because
they know that what you're doing.
And that's right. And for my skin tone, YSL was perfect, right? Back then, in particular, there wasn't anything like today,
It's so funny because I've had so many people, and I'm sure you had the same experience, come to me and go, okay, how do I pick the right foundation? Do I want it darker? Do I want it lighter? I matched my arm, my hand, my foot. I'm like, okay, your foot, literally, my inner thigh. I've heard literally everything in the world. And I always say the same thing. The right foundation disappears. You don't see it. It's not darker. It's not lighter. It's just disappears into your skin. And that is the right color. And I cannot tell you how many people don't know that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I also think when Beauty Blender came out, it really saved a lot of us, right? So I'm a fan of Carrie Gran. She's organic. She's got, she targets sort of the menopausal community and supports it. But that doesn't mean that's the only one, right? Because I look at someone like Ilya, who grew and became on fire. Sort of, it's been almost 10 years, I believe, or more. And it was because of their dedication to creating good product.
True. So why don't you tell me, you have a book launching this month, the
Yes,
Pro
yes,
Age
yes.
Playbook. Why did you decide to write it and how did it come about?
You know, the Pro Age Playbook it's called the Pro Age Playbook, Thriving and Surviving Menopause Madness. And we call it madness because a lot of times women think they are going mad. And that's part of the reality of it. But the way we approached it was to really look at the senses. What's happening with all of your senses? So your brain health and hormone reduction, your hearing, your taste, all these things that you didn't know about. The skin is the outer part of it, your sexual awareness, right? No one really talks about these different senses, all 7 of them. And we wanted to wrap it into sort of this story about loving ourselves, but also providing a resource for women so that it's like a go-to. And today, with digital assets, we can be on the Kindle store and we can update the version, so
Oh, that's
easily.
true. That's true.
So it's a different world than it used to be. So we also have words of affirmation, how to be more courageous during this time, how to
Right.
leverage your girlfriends and have communication. So there's tips, and there's a lot about loving yourself, caring for others. And what we'll be doing when we launch on QVC, so we won't be talking about the book, but that day will be a national day of caring for us. So we'll be asking our followers to really send us pictures of people they care about or things they care about or pets they care about and tag us to get something special from Caire.
I
So
love
I think that overall, this book is about how can we nourish and support women during this phase in a different way with our own voices, our own voice.
What's one piece of advice from the book that every woman in menopause, perimenopause, and menopause should know today?
I think it's about embracing your wisdom. It's about allowing yourself to be grander and put that chest out versus
That's a beautiful word, grander. I like that.
grander. One of our customers said it in our focus group.
I love that.
And I love it too because it makes you stand tall. So how many of your girlfriends will sit around and say, we're getting old? High school girlfriends, college girlfriends, you're just like, I'm not getting old.
I don't, it's interesting. My friends aren't like that. They're doing
Yay!
they are.
Yay! That's good.
They're living their best lives and they're, exercising and feeling good about themselves. And I don't know, I surround myself with people like you that we're like-minded. So I don't think that like,
That's
I,
great.
that,
But
you
you
know, that
are. Then that I hear, I guess because I see so many different people and run into so many different people. There's
I do hear that. I'm not saying I don't hear it, but
Oh,
I don't
okay.
want to be, or I'm not saying I just don't
Oh,
surround
you're
myself with
not
people like,
around it. Yes.
no, I don't want
Yeah.
to hear it. I mean, that type of
Yeah.
attitude is just
Yeah.
completely
It
distasteful to
takes
me, and I have no interest in being around it.
exactly. So it takes a mind shift change, and that's what the book helps to bring out, right? It's about receiving gifts for yourself, receiving joy for yourself. So,
That's a beautiful thing.
mm-hmm.
What role do you think community and conversation play in helping women thrive through this stage?
It's so important. And in our resource guide at the end of the book, we talk about communities, and there are different ones out there that can support you. There's this woman who came out of nowhere recently, and she started a We Do Not Care club. Melanie Sanders is her name, and she's on
Wow.
Instagram, and it's caught fire. She's got over 2 million. She might be 3 million by now.
Oh
And
my God.
she was on the Today Show. She's on all of these different local shows, and she's talking about what you don't give a crap about anymore. Really, what don't you care about? You don't care if you walk out the door with curlers in your hair. You don't care if you have the shower cap still on your head and,
I love feeling
your
like
eye
that.
mask
I
sitting
don't
up there.
care. I don't
Right.
care. Like it's so funny
Exactly.
because I write for beauty and wellness and different
Yes.
magazines, and I'm on TV as a beauty expert.
Yes.
And like my kids are like, "How do you go out looking like that?" I'm like, "I don't give a crap. Put on
That's
my
right.
baseball hat, and I don't care."
That's
But
right.
I,
That's
however, full disclosure, I do have to be somewhat careful because I can't go on TV or talk
right.
about these things
Of
if I
course,
look like
to be
disheveled mess. But
curated,
to go to
but
the
there's a
market,
lot.
I don't
And
care.
and it's also sometimes, you have to think about not just the appearance of things, but also what your surroundings are. And if you think about it, she's tapped into something that Mel Robbins has tapped into.
Let them.
Let them. And even though Melanie is talking about not caring, the let them theory is sort of a part of that world of like, you're almost middle fingering everything, right?
In a nice way. Exactly.
In a nice way. But also, you're not allowing it to impact you. That's
very true.
So many of us take on all these judgments, create all this anger. And as you said, your friends and you're very positive. Like I meditate every morning.
Oh, so do I.
That
First thing.
I don't care if it's raining, snowing.
It sets the tone. Don't you think it sets the tone for the day?
Absolutely. You have to give love, right? And if you start by giving love to you, it just radiates throughout your day.
Well, that's why self-care is so incredibly important.
Exactly.
Do you not agree? It's not
Absolutely.
selfish. It's if I can take care of me, I'm going to take care of you so much better because I'm not going to feel resentful. I'm not going to have like this angst of, oh God, I've got to work out or, oh, I've got to eat something good. It's like, no. And I also think it's an incredibly important for our children, our husbands, our friends to see that we take care of ourselves. And that's the example I want to set for my family.
Exactly. Absolutely. Last week I was at a women's event and the closing speaker was Diane von Furstenberg.
Oh, wow. How special is that?
Like 89 almost, or whatever it was. It was a big number, right? For her. She has so much joy, so much love. But the lesson that she talked about that she's practicing on a daily basis is kindness. And what she does is in this kindness, she finds a way to connect someone who's reached out to her with someone else that can help them.
I love that.
And I was like, wow, how
impactful is that on the world, right?
Exactly. And she also talked about keeping a journal every day.
Wow.
Imagine the stories in her book.
Oh my God, right? What's one ritual, beauty, health, or mindset that you can't live without? I know you love your meditation, but what else?
That's my favorite. But also just good friends. So, one of my girlfriends, she's got her Fab Five, etc. And it grows from there in terms of your circle. But those people who bring you joy, and if you want to include your husband or partner as a part of that circle, a part of it, but not really in it, then that's so important and precious. Because you learn so much from your friends by just sharing things. And when you're going through something, being able to reach out and have a conversation. I'm fortunate enough to have my father. Whenever there's a business challenge or something, I feel like there's something I need, I can pick up the phone and speak to him like every day. What about this? What about that? And just think it through, And so I miss my mom. But I do know that I can still talk to her in my own way when I'm walking out here by the beach or anything through my days, and that helps me to keep going, to not sort of live in the grief of loss, but being positive about what the lessons she taught me and is still teaching me.
I completely agree. I lost my husband 7.5 years ago, and he talks to me all the time. And I speak about on different shows about grieving in a positive way, because if you think about it from this perspective, that I was on a hike one day and I could just hear him saying, I can't bear watching you be sad, and I can't comfort you. I can't smack your ass or make you laugh, or, whatever it is he would do. And then I just thought, I'm not honoring him at all by being miserable or in a bad mood or whatever. And so I think if people could even learn that you can grieve in a positive way, you can still speak to them. You just have to listen. And they speak rather fast. I don't know if you experience that with your mom, but it's very
shows up. They can show up right around you all the time.
Absolutely. So I
your friends that have passed on, they sense signs. Too.
I have so many angels up there that I'm talking to all the time. I talk to them every day. I say hello to them. And, I went through something with one of my best friends. She passed away about 2.5 years ago. And we were, at the end, we were talking about I talk to you every day. Like, what's going to happen? She's like, honey, I'm going to still talk to you every day. I'm like, yeah, but it's not the same. She goes, it's going to be the same. And I'm like,
wow, how powerful is that? How powerful is that?
It's big.
Yeah, it's big. I understand that. I completely understand that. Wow.
How do you personally balance being busy entrepreneur and caring for yourself?
My husband has always wanted a dog. And so his sister's dog had a litter of 9 in March.
Oh, goodness. What kind?
So it's called a Flandoodle. So a Bouvier de Flandre with a poodle. So kind.
Oh, so cute.
Cute, way too heavy.
My guy's right here.
Oh, yeah.
Shih Tzu. And he's on every show.
Oh, what ended up happening is in July, when she came up from Puerto Rico, she brought the puppy.
Oh, what's its name?
Her name is Meri, so Meri, which is a Finnish word for ocean.
So, what a beautiful name. That's so perfect for where you guys are.
Exactly. So I don't know how my husband came up with this, but it's spelled Meri, which is joyful, merry anyway, right? So
right, that's true.
Meri, and then he tagged on Caire. So Meri Caire. Meri.
Meri. Oh my gosh.
So now it's the walks along the beach. It's living out here and going on meditation cruises for sunrise, sunset, but also just taking the dog out and walking. And now that I have something to care for, it makes me step away from the work. I always had to do that, especially in my startup life. Like after a while, say, I've got to take a Saturday off. Now I know when to take it off, and I'm like, it's going to be there tomorrow, but it's okay. If I don't get it, I don't get it done. Like we have this whole launch to get out the door on the 10th for get the communications out, all of those things. I've got to figure out how to get this out to all my contacts, all my friends, all my organizations, so that we can basically crash QVC systems,
True.
Show them that we need to be back on there right away.
That's true. Do you have children?
We don't have children. We were never blessed with that. Never came our way, but our priest and my mom prayed a whole lot.
But you have Medi now, so you do have a child.
Yes, absolutely.
If you could give one piece of advice to women in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond, what would it be?
I really brought this up earlier in terms of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let anyone bully you. Stand up to the bullies. Stand up in what you know. If you intuitively in your gut feel it, there's a reason. And I think that losing your intuitiveness can be really, really detrimental to how you live, because you could turn towards self-doubt. You can miss the judgments, and you could start to lean into a negative mindset, which just doesn't help you excel in life and bring you joy.
That's true. Okay, we are going to do some rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Ooh, okay, okay. Ask me about Celeste too. I can tell you about her.
Okay, coffee or tea?
Tea every day.
Agreed. What's your favorite?
I actually have switched to decaf.
Oh,
My favorite is a Mariage Frere Bolero tea,
beautiful.
which is beautiful. But I've switched to a decaf because I have lupus and it's in remission,
Oh,
but keeping my inflammatory levels down and at the very lowest is important because I see a integrative doctor. I'm on a series of supplements. I've been off medication for years,
I
and
love that.
I've been able to get off medications twice through this journey of about 20 years. So it just shows you
Bravo.
the last time I was on medication was when my mother was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and that's been over 10 years ago. So
Wow.
I'm proud to say that that's a real big thing. So I know that wasn't a rapid fire answer.
That's it. It's perfect. What's your must-have skincare product besides your own, if you have one?
My toner.
Oh, the toner.
My toner. I actually use Cellcept, Circel rather. What am I saying? Cellcept's a drug. Circel they have a botanical toner. And when I use it, it's not stripping the skin. It just allows my serum to go in so much better. And then that exfoliating kit that I was talking about that Helen loves is Olga Lorenzen's Red Carpet Facial. It's one of my go-tos. I still love it.
That's great. The beauty product you will never use again.
Foreo had this like little scrubby device that was attached to your app and the iPhone for exfoliation. I will never use that again.
Oh my
I'll stick
gosh.
to my LED device any day though.
Yes. Favorite city for inspiration?
Well, my mother was from Hawaii, so I actually go to Hawaii quite a bit. So
I was just there last week. I was in Kauai.
Oh, really? I love that.
Oh,
That's the
beautiful.
best. That's one of the best islands, especially for relaxation.
I agree. It was amazing. One word that describes your partnership with Celeste.
Just honesty, good friendship. In order to work with a friend, you have to be honest. You have to be candid. You have to communicate well. It's very much like a marriage.
Oh, definitely. She's your work wife. Definitely.
Exactly, So you have to know how you're different.
Yes. What's your guilty pleasure TV show?
Ha! I got to tell you, it's not like The Golden Bachelor or anything like that. It's really The Voice.
The Voice. Oh, that's a good one.
Lately, I've been watching America's Got Talent, so it's that kind of mindless enjoyment, right?
Yes.
Something that I can't do, right? Or like Dancing with the Stars.
Right, that you can appreciate what their talent is.
I can appreciate the talent, and I also appreciate Amazing Race. My husband and I was like, oh, could I ever do that? And I'm always like, heck no. He's always like, I could do it.
Oh, of course. Okay, red lipstick or nude gloss?
I love a red lip.
Oh.
I love a red lip. When I'm going on TV, going out, presenting, I go with a red lip. When I'm just doing at home like this, I just have on a glossy, light, either pinkish or
Pink. It's beautiful color. It's really pretty.
Things simple, right?
Nice. Where's your happy place?
Happy place is at home with my husband, right?
Yes, that's a good one.
Biking and walking.
You already kind of went into this a little bit, but what do you do when your day isn't flowing?
When my day isn't flowing, I typically will go, if it's a nice day, I'll go into the backyard and work.
I love that.
Wind chimes out there, just seeing the sun. I also have moved my office to our sun porch. So that's where I am right now. So instead of being inside the house where it's darker, I've surrounded myself with nature and the sun.
Super important.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. What's the best advice you've ever received from another woman?
don't be too performative in who you are, like trying to be someone else or trying to be something you perceive is best. Just be yourself.
That's a good advice. If you weren't in beauty, what career do you think you would have chosen?
Well, I got to say, I started in insurance and then I was in finance and then I was in beauty. But when I was at business school, I majored in entrepreneurship. So the things that really spark me are brands that are having fun. Caddis Eyewear is having fun. Oatly Milk is having fun. Who Gives a Crap toilet paper is having fun, right? They're all having fun. So my whole thing is, in building the platform for care, how can we have more fun?
I like that. I think I completely agree with that. 3 things that are always in your handbag.
Lip gloss, or, like my Osea hyaluronic acid lip serum, right? And I always have my Plod AI device, which goes on my phone. So it's something that helps me take notes automatically. And then, of course, I've always got my iPhone, right?
Always. Who is your dream celebrity that you'd love to see using Caire Beauty?
Wow, I've never gotten asked that one before. I wonder who it should be. You tell me.
I mean, you've already had Elizabeth Taylor and, Halle Berry.
Oh, Halle has been on the menopause train, but
Yes, she has. She was all about the gut health.
I have sent her my product. She hasn't given it its blessing out loud, but that's probably because she's dedicated to Olga, right?
Right. Right.
And the Canara Spa, but also she's doing a menopausal brand called Respin. And she represents Joy Lux. And ultimately, I saw her on a Lancome commercial. So that's not going to happen. But if I were to think about who it could be, I mean, I almost feel like celebrities are celebrities are celebrities. I really want real women talking about and enjoying care. And to me, they are the celebrities.
That is the best answer ever. And I completely agree with you. What's the first thing you do in the morning?
I put on my eye mask and meditate. My earbuds, rather. My eye mask is already on. So I grab my earbuds and I turn on the meditation. Literally, yeah. I'm a big Joe Dispenza. He's sort of the person that I've always followed. Louise, I like that. Before that, yeah.
Finish this sentence. When women use Caire Beauty, I want them to feel. I already know what you're going to say.
You do?
I do. I think I do.
I want them to feel joy. I want them to feel joy.
I was going to say confident. I was going to say confident.
I was going to say confidence as well, but then that's sort of it's kind of like, if you feel the joy, you'll feel the confidence.
Confident, right. They go hand in hand, definitely. Yeah. What have I not asked you today that you'd like to share?
I think you have covered everything almost in my life, right? Celeste and I have, we really wanted to build something unique. You don't do this lightly in your 50s. You do something to do something purpose-built that's this hard, because funding is so challenging to gain out there.
That's true.
It's not just for women, but for women of color, which both Celeste and I are. It makes it even more difficult if we're raising less than, almost 2.5% of the venture capital out there. That's the women's number. Ours is more like 0.25 to 1%.
Oh my gosh.
So as women of color, so the rest are going to men. And so why don't more people trust what we're saying? Why don't more people understand that this is something that women need and want paid attention? It's the same reason that Viagra was passed by the Senate or the FDA within months. And then the pink little pill that helps women took years and lots of funding.
That's
and it
crazy.
still happens today. So the message is we as women have to stand up for ourselves, advocate through organizations who are going to represent our interests. So I'm on the board of the National Menopause Foundation and on the advisory board of Let's Talk Menopause, the largest nonprofit here in the country. We believe in health funding for women, health access for women, and not just that, the right type of testing, right type of clinical research, so that doctors start to have an understanding that we're not crazy. We actually just need them to start paying attention to our legitimate healthcare needs. And they've been running the script, men against women, all these years. You're so anxious just because you're on your period, but yet you've got hormone decline. Oh, you're just forgetful all the time. It's always dismissive, right?
Mm.
So if anything, it's about find the organizations that are going to support our young girls and also support us, and make sure that whatever political affiliation you have is standing up for those rights. Because do you want your children to not have some of the things that you've had? Or don't you want them to be broadened so that we're healthier and we already live longer, and we're doing that on our own? But we have a lot of cases where we're misdiagnosed and unheard.
That's so true. Lorrie, I want to thank you so much for inspiring and empowering women in this conversation today. Your mission to create products for women by women to champion pro-aging is something the world truly needs right now. For everyone watching and listening, don't forget to check out their upcoming book, The Pro-Age Playbook, Thriving and Surviving Menopause Madness. It's coming out this month. You can follow them on Instagram. Everything's going to be in the show notes. She has been generous enough to offer a 20% discount code with ITB20, and we will have that in the show notes as well. I want to thank you. Please, until next time, I am Christina Flach. Please like, follow, and comment, and I'll see you next time. And I am too busy.